In these new lockdown times, I would cover a few different things that might be of interest to all of you. First of all, what some pro and good golfers do that the rest of us as amateurs can learn from. First, they arrive well on time, 20 minutes even before their tee time. They do a good warm-up, they do a few practice putts, as opposed to rushing to the first tee couple of minutes before your tee time. So arrive well on time. Second, they don't follow a mistake they've made on a particular hole with a second mistake. So they tend to not take a further risk on the next shot or on the next hole. They play relatively safer, middle of the green, middle of the fairway. Oftentimes it results in fact in a birdie because they've been careful and they don't take that extra risk. So don't follow one mistake with a second mistake. Third, they control their emotions. Okay, occasionally the odd person, JT recently in a tournament broke one of his clubs, Rory McIlroy too. But on the whole, they control their emotions, which is why they are able to manage their strategy and their game well. So they keep to their strategy even if something goes wrong on a particular hole. Control your emotions. Fourth, they don't give up. So even if they're having some difficulties, they're struggling with a particular shot that they may be very good at. Usually take Tiger Woods recently with some of his iron shots, is one of the world's best golfers with his irons. They continue to grind and they continue to work at it even if it's not all going for them. Sooner or later they turn it around or they get a really nice shot with something they've been struggling with, and they then use that as a momentum going forward. So continue to grind. Mistakes will happen. Your swing will go off from time to time. Just grind it out. Remember the simple things and it'll turn around. Fifth, very importantly, they don't blame their tools. So you rarely hear of any pros come off the match, they've not done very well, and they say, oh, it was my irons that were useless, or I need to change my driver. So they don't blame their tools. They're the ones doing the hitting. They're the ones who chose their clubs, and they're the ones who, of course, can amend their clubs or tweak them anyway for their particular game or for a particular course. So don't blame your tools. Sixth, they don't worry about three putts. So what tends to happen is if they've hit the first putt a little bit past or way past the hole, they don't then do a very short putt coming back. They still go for the hole and try to get it into the hole. If anything, even putting slightly further past it on the way back. So don't leave your second putt short. Seventh, they don't take unnecessary risks. So they will have a strategy. They will know that there is a certain parts of the fairway or certain parts of the course or certain parts of the green that are extremely dangerous, either because it can roll off into deep rough or water or out of bounds. And they generally don't take unnecessary risks. They may hit it in a bad part of the course, not intentionally. But intentionally, they don't take unnecessary risks. Something we can all learn from. Don't just go for it, hoping that it'll work out when there's only a 20% chance of you hitting that at the exact spot. Eighth, very important, they don't underclub. They very rarely leave it short. They may be slightly long, slightly to the left or right of where they intended, but they don't tend to underclub. what amateurs mostly tend to do is we think we hit it further than we actually do hit it, and we tend to underclub. So take the extra club, learn even a 3/4 shot if that's the case, and as you hit that extra club with a 3/4 shot, if you find it you needed a fuller shot, you in the future know that you need to take that extra club as opposed to the club lower than that. So don't underclub. Ninth, they don't always hit a driver off the tee. So they look at the course, they look at the layout, they figure that with a 3-wood, sometimes with a hybrid, they can have a much safer shot into the fairway, leaving them a good angle with their iron or a second hybrid, as the case may be, to get it onto the green, or a wedge in their case. So don't always think you need to hit a driver off every tee. 10th, on the range they have a very specific plan of what they want to work on, the order in which they're hitting, particular targets they're going for, particular distances that they're trying, particular flight patterns. They don't just go on the range and hit a bunch of balls. I see a lot of amateurs on the range just hitting hundreds of balls with the same club. Big mistake. Anticipate what you need to practice, anticipate your whole bag, work through it. Have a look at a clip I've done, which I'll put a link to both in the description below and up above, of the way you can take your range game to the course. 10 things you can do that will really help you be much more effective on the range and be more relevant for the golf course. Well, I hope you found these 10 pointers of what pros and good players do helpful. Let me know which ones you find you can adopt. Try them, see if that helps your game, helps your score, helps you enjoy it more. Do subscribe. Happy golfing. See you on the flip side.